Yo, we back with the stream, baby. Hey, this title is crazy. After I read the title, I'm gonna ask you a question. Korean evil twin tried to kill perfect sister to take over her identity. If you had a twin, like if you were able to make a duplicate version of yourself and that was your twin, would they be better or worse than you? Would you be the evil one or would you be the good one? And then if they were the other one, would they believe they're good and you're evil even if you thought that you were good and they're evil? Could you beat your ass? That's a question. Honestly, if I had an evil version of myself, I'm losing. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna be a loser. Try my best. I'm gonna try my best, but I think I definitely lose. But this is gonna be very interesting. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me today. Hey man, I can't wait till there's a day to where I could like stream. I'm gonna have like a stream schedule. I'm gonna have a posting schedule. So tune into that. I'm gonna have like, all right, I'm thinking of posting like Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, like 12, 3 a.m., 8 a.m., something like that. Still working out that schedule for like postings, like no bullcrap. That's the posting schedule. And then, cause then I have to intertwine once I start streaming more, how I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? And I want to be able to have a streaming schedule so everybody could follow, tune in, know when I am streaming, normal stuff. But yeah, thinking of a schedule, and I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday for posting, and then like either the same days for streaming, or I want to start streaming more than I'm posting ultimately. I like streaming more. I like live engagement. I love talking to people. I think it's way better. I think it makes the content a lot better, when I'm interacting, when someone has a question and then I say something and, we just have conversation and just have fun ultimately. Because these are little creepy stories and stuff. Nobody really want to watch these by themselves. Look, okay, oddball, me. I would normally watch them by myself, listen to creepy, scary stories, because they wouldn't necessarily scare me. It would just spark a lot of curiosity and just thought process. But I know that like a lot of this is like super cringe and kind of creepy, scary. Sometimes you don't want to watch it by yourself. So I'm the big homie. I got your back. You know what I'm saying? I got you. If you got a boogeyman, hey, I got him too. What's up? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, appreciate y'all for stopping by. I love you guys. Let me tap into the chat, see if anybody in that much. I use my phone to like see the chat because I don't have like a separate screen where I could be like, boom. Soon I will. Best believe. I can't wait for that. So soon I'll have like a separate screen so then I could be able to look at the chat over here and then look that way. But this is what we working with right now. But yeah, what's up, Mind Spasm? You on this time? I know. Come on now. Big ups to you. Raise the roof. Check me out. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and start with the stream. Come on now, dog. We in this business. I'm excited for this one. This one is like different from every other one. But I'm excited. So make sure you guys like the stream. Follow the Twitch. Because I'm going to be streaming October 1st. That's the day. October 1st is going to be, either I'm going to do a dual stream or just going to be streaming on Twitch. But yeah, let's get it.
Bada bing, bada boo.
The police officer is running through the apartment complex. Well, he's running through the parking lot. This is one of the highest priority calls that the station had gotten the entire day. Possible hostage situation in a nice, family-friendly Orange County apartment complex. It's
bugging.
It's the middle of the day. There could be children running around. All they know is that there is a potential home invasion and essay of college students by 2 male home invaders. A group of 4 young girls live.
Hey, yo, I swear, like, every single stream I watch Rotten Mango, it's always essay going on. Like, when are we gonna have one where it's like, all right, nobody got touched like that? You know what I'm saying? It's a little wild.
Together, 2 gunmen had forced their way in. That's pretty much all he knows. The 911 call was placed 2 minutes ago, and one of the
Oh,
roommates
you haven't seen this one yet? Well, hey, we're both in for a treat, so I'm excited. I'm excited we get to hang out and watch it together.
had been hiding in the bathroom and whispering, please hurry, I think they're essaying my roommate right now. Please. That's all they have.
911, what are you reporting? Okay, ma'am, what city do you live in? Irvine? Okay, hold on for Irvine Police, okay?
One of the officers arriving at the scene, he's running through the parking lot when he notices a blue Mustang sitting there, which is nothing out of the ordinary, but as he's running past, there's 2 people sitting in the Mustang. So he approaches the car, and there's a Korean girl in the driver's seat, a young man in the passenger seat. Do you live here? Are you a resident here? The girl rolls down her window. Yes, I am. Sorry, officer. I just got into a fight with my roommate, so I just wanted to get some Is there something wrong? Is something going on? Is there a problem inside? And your roommates are still inside? I'm sorry, is there a problem? Is there something going on? What is your unit number? 676? Interesting. The officer's radio starts buzzing. The other officers need backup at unit 676. He's about to rush off, but he stops. He looks at the Korean girl for a brief moment. Black hair, fair skin, brown eyes. I mean, like most police officers, he's trying to memorize the face of every single person he sees at a crime scene. Mm-hmm. And one more thing. What's your name? I'm Sunny. My name's Sunny Han. There's a lot of...
This is where the conflict is going to come into where it's like, oh, it was you. No, it was you. And then it's going to be the Spider-Man thing. That's crazy.
Questions that you never want to ask a police officer, especially when there's 4 of them holding their guns out, pointed directly at your face. Probably top of the list of questions never to be asked would be something along the lines of, if I run, are you going to shoot me?
What?
There's 4 police officers at the door to unit 676. A male had just opened the door, a male gunman. They know that there's only 2 male gunmen and the rest of the residents are girls. So this has to be the home invader. And the police are staring at him and he's got the door cracked open like he lives.
It sounds like a hit was called on her twin sister. That's just my hypothesis with 3 minutes on the clock. But I wouldn't see why there, because it says Korean evil twin tried to kill perfect sister to take her identity. So...
there. Like he's opening the door to the mailman. The officers don't even know how to respond. They just scream, get down on the ground now, get down on the ground. The guy pauses for a second. He's running through his options. And then he slams the apartment door shut on the police officer's face.
Did he ask that question or?
He asked the question.
Oh, and then he shut the door.
Yes.
Okay.
They eventually break into the apartment through the back. He is tackled onto the ground and arrested. So now all that leaves for the police officers is taking the statements of the 2 victims. They find 2 female victims inside the unit. 2 shaking Korean girls, maybe 21, 22 years old. They're standing there hugging themselves. They're taking turns trying to rip the duct tape out of each other's hair and legs. The officer approaches them and he's hit with this really strange feeling. This overpowering sense of deja vu. I mean, she just looks so familiar. He could have sworn he saw the dark hair, pale skin, brown. But again, I mean, maybe it's just been a long day, right? But there's just this feeling, the more she talks, then he tied us up and put a gun to our heads and then forced us both into the bathtub where he was going to, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I'm so sorry. What's your name again? My name is Sunny. Sunny Han?
Oh my gosh, she used the same name, of course. Of course. But seriously, if you haven't answered the question as far as if you had an evil twin, who would win? Where have they been? Like, who would really win between you and the evil twin if you did have one?
Thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. They are volunteer-based and are working towards a world where all children in the Middle East have access to medical and humanitarian aid. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team of dedicated researchers.
Like a good movie that had came out, because this sounds like a movie situation, but there's a movie way back, I think it was in the 90s. Yeah, it was in the 90s, I believe. It was called Good Son, Bad Son, by that kid that did Home Alone, and then like I don't know who the other actor was, but it's called Good Son, Bad Son, Good Son, Bad Son, and technically the evil son was getting away with literal murder. So it was just really, really crazy. So if you haven't seen that movie, that's a very, very good movie to watch. This is what reminds me of Good Son, Bad Son. But let's see how the situation happens.
Places at once. But here she is on the witness stand testifying as a victim, and then you
Let's see if we missed anything.
and we'd also like to thank our listeners for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates of these causes. As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. Now, before we get started,
Oh, because the girl that asked if there's anything wrong that was outside in the Mustang, she was a Korean girl, and she said her name was Sunny. That's why. So then when he finally gets in and then sees the same looking Korean girl, he's like, what's your name again? Because he asked the question when he was outside with the other girl, and the other girl that was in there that was taking duct tape out of her hair, her name is Sunny. So remember, it's the evil twin acting like she's the good one. So she's taking her name. I don't know like her actual the evil one's name. We'll just call it the evil one until we know her name. But she's taking her good side sister name as Sunny. So that's why there's confusion with the police officer, because if he doesn't know that they're twins, but yet he asked the question and they look like the same person and it felt like deja vu, that's where the confusion comes from.
a few quick disclaimers. Today's case is relatively non-graphic. However, there are some brief mentions of R-word and self-exit, as well as gun violence. There is also a portion where the perpetrator queer baits, which is also known as pretending to be a part of the LGBTQIA plus community for your own exploits. So if that is triggering, take some time for yourself, and we will see you in the next one. So with that being said, let's get into the case that everyone believes.
When I was a young teen, I read a book called Stranger with My Face. Ooh, that sounds crazy. Two adopted twins that didn't know the other existed. One of them tried to delete the other to steal her life. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's crazy. To like not know that you have a twin, but the other one knows there's a twin, and then they try to bro. I would be like, yo, I don't know. I'd be tripping out. I feel like I would be in the Matrix or something, or some like Inception type movie.
Is about one evil twin and one really good twin. But is that really the case?
Oh,
how can one person be at two places at once?
What up, Sandra?
But here she is on the witness stand testifying as a victim, and then you turn your head and there she is again sitting.
Wait, so my favorite thing to do with twins is to find out like one or two things that stand out about them that besides if they did their hair different, but to see physical features, if I could see if it stands out, to be able to tell the two apart. So
person be at two places at once. But here she is.
Okay. So usually my first giveaway with twins is the part in their hair. Like you see that part in their hair like this, usually it's different for every single one. I kid you not. Every single one's part in their hair is different as far as like where their roots come out or whatever. I like to see like the bone structure of where the eyebrows are. Usually underneath the eyes, any like wrinkles or frowns that they give like probably differently is usually a big giveaway for me, like just firsthand. Or if they have like mole, blemish, whatever.
on the witness stand testifying as a victim, and then you turn your head and
Yeah, you see how her part is farther on the right side? The other one's is more in the middle. And like her eyebrow bone structure isn't as like protruding as her sister's.
there she is again, sitting next to the attorneys at the defendant table. Most of the people in the courtroom, the judge, the jury, they all have to keep doing double takes, left, right, like they're watching.
Yes, I had a friend when I was younger, and one had a mole under her eye. Only way to tell them apart. Yep. There's always like one. There has to always at least be one thing that's like sticks out that's different to be able to tell that there's twins. My little brother and I. I say little brother. He's not like a little kid. He's like 28, but I still call him my little brother. But my little brother and I, like when we were growing up, a lot of people would think that we're twins, but they soon found out that we were not.
A tennis match. It's like watching a mirrored image. When one on the witness stand would start crying, the other one would instantly start crying at the defense table. It's like they shared the same emotion.
She's playing like the psychological game between the two of them. That's crazy. I wonder if she got so in depth to like change her actual name and like everything, or if she just tried to act like her. I feel like she'd be really evil if she like really tried to steal her identity to like from ID card and Social Security, everything. That'd be crazy.
Emotional string. It was really weird. It's like a glitch in the universe. Watching two clones. I mean, there's obviously a very reasonable answer for this. They're identical twins. One is on the stand.
Oh, I gotta see it again. Hold on. Because they honestly, to me, don't look identical. Like, they look very close, but they don't look identical.
Watching two clones. I mean, there's obviously a very reasonable answer for this. They're identical twins.
Nah, you could tell by the lips, like the smirk, like you could tell by the lips right here. Like I said, just even like that small protrusion of the eyebrows, like right here. The other one has like two small blemishes right there. She has that.
One is on the stand as a victim, and the other is on the stand as the defendant, on trial for conspiring to murder. I mean, there's obviously a very reasonable answer for this. They're identical twins.
I mean, aside from just like, you know what I was saying as far as like the hair, like one looks, I mean, it could be the lighting, but she's literally yellow. This one's white. And then even like the neck muscles, she could be flexing them, but the neck looks strained on the left side compared. And then even like the nose right here, it looks more indented on the left side than the twin on the right. And yeah, not identical to me. I'd be able to be like, oh, this one's that one, this one's that one. But yeah, the lips are different. Like the other one has like a more sharper, kind of lip structure. The other one has a more round lip structure. The other one has it could be like her coloring in her eyebrows or whatever, but her eyebrows are like sharper but darker as well. So oh, what up? You changed your name. Maybe they were younger. Yeah, they're probably younger. Bathtub screen. Currently praying that it dries. Hey, I'll be praying for your phone to get better.
One is on the stand as a victim, and the other is on the stand as the defendant, on trial for conspiring to murder her identical twin sister.
That's crazy.
All because she wanted to be her twin. She wanted to be her. Sunny Han is staring at the police officer. You cannot be serious right now. Oh, we're serious. What the hell did Gina do? She's always lying to get me in trouble. This is not real. That's not what the neighbor said, by the way. The city of Irvine, I mean, we lived there briefly. It is a weird place. It's in Orange County, which is in California. And the city itself feels like a fake Black Mirror city. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but everything is beige. And it's a giant bubble. Every house looks the same. Every apartment complex looks the same. And they're all owned by the same.
I have lived in California for some time. And there definitely is like this, wake up at 8, go to work, get your cup of Joe, go to work, come back home, watch sports, go to bed, do it all over again kind of vibe in some places. You have to keep in mind one has makeup. Makeup drastically makes you look different. How you highlight and shade, that is very, 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 very true. You using the hubby's account, well, shout out to the hubby for having a YouTube account. So
same company. Everything is so clean, but in a strange, yes, it's strange. It's sterile. It's like, I don't know if human cities are made to be this clean. It just doesn't naturally happen. It's the place that you go to have children. You send them to school, and then you have a suburban routine that just loops and loops and loops until you die. And that year, there was only one recorded murder for the full 365 days in the city of Irvine. It is consistently ranked one of the safest cities in the United States. Nothing ever happens in Irvine. That's why Carla, fake name, moved to Irvine in the first place, for some peace and quiet. Look what you did to me! Look at me! How could you do this to your own flesh and blood? Calm down. Carla looks out the window, and there's two girls. I mean, she knows that there's two separate girls because they look the same and they're standing in front of each other. It's almost like, again, looking at a mirrored image, but one of them is covered in blood. So obviously it's two girls. It looks like someone took a meat cleaver and just smashed it into her nose bridge. And now that girl, the bloody girl, is screaming at the top of her lungs, look what you did to me. You stole my car. You started it. Someone help me, please. Someone help me. She's going to kill me.
How old?
They're like 21.
Oh.
It appeared one of the girls was trying to kill the other. So Carla naturally calls the police. When the police arrive, they arrest Sunny Han, which makes sense. She's the one without the blood dried on her shirt. That makes sense, right? But they're not arresting her for punching and assaulting her sister. They already had a warrant out for Sunny Han's arrest. So that being said, Sunny Han is in big trouble. Asian gangs in Orange County are actually a very big thing. There's the Tiny Rascals gang, the Asian boys, watching Dragon Family, the Korean gangs like the Korean Crazy Dogs. There's a lot, and they all have turf wars. And one of them, or maybe a few of them, were out for Gina Han. That's what she's frantically telling her friends. My sister Sunny, my twin sister Sunny, her boyfriend is in one of those Orange County-based Asian gangs, and they're gonna get me. I have to be careful every time I drive into Orange County. Your sister? Why would your twin sister want to do something like that to you? I mean, that's your twin sister at the end of the day, no? I know, but when we were 15 years old, I don't even remember what I did. It was honestly probably nothing, but we're arguing like we normally do. And I'm telling you, she's insane. Out of nowhere, my sister Sunny grabs a sharp pen and stabs me in the thigh with it. That was when we were 15. And now
she's demon possessed. That's what I'm gonna say. Cause if nothing really happened, like what the heck, man? She probably got like a pentagram under her bed. Craziness.
Now she's put a hit out on me.
Oh, I knew it.
I
called it. I called it in the beginning. I was just like, the only way anything would transpire is because she called a hit on her twin sister. Like, so then it would look like she didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. But there's ways of tracking all of that, of course. But yeah, I knew that it had to be a hit that was called out on her. So then she could just get away scot-free. That's crazy, man.
23, and Sunny, according to Gina, has been exponentially getting more homicidal. Gina's anxiously grabbing her arms while telling her friends and anybody who will listen that Sunny put a hit out on her and she's so scared. She told her boyfriend, who's in one of those gangs, to kidnap me, essay me, and then kill me. On sight, no questions asked. Which is interesting, because what if they catch Sunny instead?
Oh,
How could they tell the difference?
See, that's a big thing. So, like I said before in the beginning, growing up, my brother and I, we look like twins. So our characteristics are almost night and day. They're pretty much night and day. But I would have to be more cautious with like who I got in altercations with and how it went about and how it ended, because they could mistakenly take my little brother as me, and then they do something wrong with my brother, bro. It's up. It is up. There's no questions asked.
A girl walks into the police station not too long after all of this, and she walks up to the officer. Hi, I would like to pick up my ID, please. She's standing in front of the receptionist at the sheriff's office. Name, please. Sunny. My name is Sunny Han. Or at least it will be soon. Because all Gina has to do first is kill her.
They look more identical here. But I could just tell by the hairline.
Her twin sister Sunny to become her.
So Gina wants to be Sunny,
Yes.
and Sunny is
In jail.
in jail.
Yeah. She just got out.
Wow.
Sunny just got out.
Yeah.
But Gina wants to be Sunny now.
Oh,
So
we'll get there.
Sunny did beat Gina up,
Sunny did beat her up, yes.
and Sunny is dating someone in a gang.
Allegedly.
Okay.
Hey, I know that's fire, right? Like, we got like a steady group of people that like to watch like horror stories and stuff like that. I think it's cool. Like, I think that's like the dopest thing in the world. It's like unlimited conversation as far as like what would happen, and you could bounce ideas off of it instead of just watching it and be like, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? I like having like genuine conversation in the chat. So I like doing the live streams way better, honestly, than posting content, because then you have to catch up with comments rather than just having the full conversation here and being able to respond immediately. But yeah, I think I like this way better.
Now, one of the creepiest psychological studies done was in the 1960s.
Now, just when it was getting good.
Two scientists were debating nature versus nurture. Are you born this way, or
What
are
does
you
it
made
say?
this way, or is it kind of a mixture of both?
I gotta see that. I gotta read it.
Okay.
Now, one of the creepiest psychological studies done was in the 1960s. Two scientists were debating.
Nature versus nurture debate. Our genetics determine our behavior. Our personality traits and abilities are in our nature. Okay. Nurture. Our environment, upbringing, and life experience determine our behavior. We are nurtured to behave in certain ways. Both of those are true. Honestly, there's no verses. That's the big key point, is there's no verses. There's no one against the other. Your nature is completely your nature, because everybody has their own characteristics in their DNA, genetically passed down through your lineage, your bloodline. And then there is, yes, being nurtured amongst your, life experience, environment, etc. Like, you could take two of the same people, like the exact same people, and then have one brought up through like the child protective services, and then one brought up through like a posh neighborhood family, blah blah blah. They're still gonna have like similar characteristics. It's just you're gonna be raised differently. But I don't believe that there's one against the other. It's they're all one. This is one. This isn't. What do you guys think about that? Because I think this is stupid. This is like white versus black. There's no better side. It's just communitive. Like, this is a community kind of thing. This isn't one versus the other. Nature versus nurture. Because you can get the same. Like, if you were to reverse the roles, you can get the same technical outcome based on the environment versus like how like their natural nature bloodline is. It's very simple. Like, Okay, just the same as like there. If you have family members, you have brother, sister, whatever. You can tell like the firstborn has a natural uh uh nurturing characteristic that it shows in their development that they were raised by your mom and dad that didn't know how to raise a child, and then it shows through their characteristics. And I was looking this up with my fiance, and it was talking about like the firstborn characteristics, the middle child characteristics, and then like the younger child. The younger child is like more coddled and blah blah blah, and they get all the things right. Like that's based off of how the parents nurtured, because sometimes the parents could feel guilt of them being so hard on the firstborn, and then the middle child is the best child. That is me. Thank you, appreciate it. But feels bad about that, and then like gives everything to like the younger kid, and then they seem to like not challenge themselves as much. My major was sociology. I feel that it's of both. I would also include community and society, very much so. Just the same way as the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Like that's nurturing, because when you have a community of people that look over one another as family, that's why it's not skin tone, it's tribal. It's like based on like the culture and society that you live in amongst like your neighborly community, you know? That's your tribe. Like that's why it wasn't like there isn't gang, like even in gangs technically it's tribes, and a lot of them are meshing together and not based on skin tone. It's just their characteristics as far as what they represent, whatever the case. But this isn't one versus the other at all.
nature versus nurture.
Humans
Are you
both,
born this way, or are you made?
you say humans are both. A lot of animals can be one or the other. Yeah, animals are different. Animals are way different. Well, not way different in a sense, but they're nature leaning. You know what I mean? Like you can train animals with food. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the same way you could technically do with humans, but animals will choose their nature over their how they were nurtured, how you train them. Because regardless, you can't take a shark or a lion out of the wild and expect it to be your best friend. On very small like stories that's happened, but you always usually hear it in like tragic accidents or whatever the case may be. You wind up not feed it, guess what? It's hungry, and guess what? You look like lunch.
This way, or is it kind of a mixture of both? Some believe that it's nature, that genetic traits are handed down by parents through evolution and all of that, and they influence everything about an individual. And it's precisely that, your genetic makeup.
That is very correct, Sandra. You're on point. Hey, we're on point. We're on point with everything.
That makes each person so incredibly unique. The argument being, there could be a set of twins that have the exact same genetic makeup, and yet their lives turn out drastically different. How does that make sense? But others argue it's not that simple. There's no way that both twins experience the same exact life trauma experiences and stimulations in life. So with nurture, each twin turns out different from the other. Then you have people arguing that it's a mixture of both nature and nurture that defines who somebody is. I mean, it's so hard to argue because there's no solid.
I feel like it's not hard to argue. I feel like people want to make it hard to argue. It's not. It's both. It's two combinations. Because you got to realize you have, however you grew up, whether both parents, no parents, one parent, going through the system, getting parented by all types of, like, your environment, and like everything can change based on your characteristic, how you deal with things, problem solving. But nature and nurture are two, and the rest is based on like how you react, how you respond to like situations, and how you get challenged if you get challenged. Like the other stuff is just situational based. The standard baseline is nature and nurture. So it does, like, I hate when people try to make something like more confusing than what it really is.
Proof that it's one or the other. If someone ends up being an incredibly stubborn person when they're
Biology major
older,
as well. Hey,
is it a
we got some big brains in the chat. Come on now, let's go.
result of their genes or their environment or a mixture of both? There's no perfect answer. Dr. Viola Bernard invented what she called the twinning reaction, placing two
Twin, where have you been? Nobody, no. See, watch me get copywritten. Because I'm on point like that. Stop playing with me.
infants into two different adopted families. So she ran this adoption center, or well, she worked with an adoption center. And every time they would get two twins, they would adopt them out to separate families and not tell anybody that they were.
They would guinea pig these kids. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. So one day I want to adopt children. And if there is two, like a brother, sister, brother, whatever the case, I will take both. I'm not going to take one or the other. But to guinea pig children like that is kind of crazy. I would want to have them together. But I understand why she's doing it, but
were one half of a twin. They would not tell the adoptive parents. They would not tell the twin. It would be nowhere in the files.
wow.
Is that okay to do?
This is probably one of the most debated, questionable, unethical studies that was ever done on twins.
All right, no debate. It's effed up, straight up. But I understand why she's doing it. That doesn't make it right at all. Like, I think that's so backwards, and I don't condone. 10%, what happened? 90%, what would you do about it? Yeah, technically.
That's crazy.
There were a lot of people who committed self-exits after this.
Wow.
Now, they do not tell the parents that they are twins. They let them grow up not knowing there's another pair of them somewhere out there in the world.
So do they just put like tracking devices on them or something and just, all right, let's monitor them? Like they would want, has anybody in this chat seen like Black Mirror? Black Mirror is fire. Like I wish that they kept continuing Black Mirror. I think Black Mirror is crazy. But they're like or the Truman Show. That's a good one. We're going to watch the Truman Show on Patreon for sure. We're definitely watching that. I love the Truman Show. If you haven't watched the Truman Show, we about to watch the Truman Show. Facts.
Later, they go and study their lives and behaviors under the disguise of, oh, we're doing an adoption study because you've been adopted and we'd just like to ask you a few questions. This, they thought, could answer the never-ending debate of nature versus nurture because their genetic makeup is the same. I will say the study itself, all of the files are sealed to this day. So I don't really know if anything came out of it. It doesn't seem like anything came out of it. It just seems that they were committing morally unethical studies, in my opinion. But the part that fascinated a lot of people was the idea that if there are twins who don't know they have a twin out there, do they grow up like everybody else? Do they grow up like me, where I know I don't have a twin out there? I hope. Do they feel something, or do they feel somehow subconsciously that something is missing? One unwilling participant in the study, Doug, his dad explained, Doug just always had this anger that revolved around the fact that he always felt that something was absent from his life, and he just could never put his finger on it.
Of course, because there's always going to be mind, body, spirit. You're always going to have a linking energy to somebody that you were supposed to be around. So when you take those two apart, like you can see it in babies. Like there's plenty of baby videos out there where you'll see twins or brother and sister, and they're like, babies where they can't see anything and they're just grabbing everything. They can feel you. So just the same way they can feel that like somebody was supposed, and obviously they're adopted, so it makes it even worse. So not real statistics on that, but just knowing, I know I have a brother. So, but to know that to not know that you had a twin, but feel like something's missing, you're always going to feel like that agitation, I feel like.
Doug would be reunited with his twin Howard, and they realized some eerie coincidences. They got married the same year. They had kids the same year. Both their kids played the same sports, and additionally, both their kids had the same number jersey assigned to them, number 2. They
That's crazy.
both had similar eating habits. They don't like condiments or sauces on their food because they, quote, had no use for them. So it's very strange. It's like they both felt like something was missing, and they both kind of lived parallel lives. The study itself resulted in 2 self-exits, and it ruined a lot of people's lives because once
I think I heard one of them before. Like, it was like way back in the day.
found out they had a twin, it just was unbearable.
Really?
To know that a lot of them did discuss how they just felt empty their whole lives. They didn't understand how other people felt complete. They never
That is
felt
so
complete.
strange.
And they never understood what the gloominess feeling was from. Maybe if they knew, it would have made things better. But then to have that betrayal later on, I think it was too difficult. Sunny and Gina both found out about each other at around the age of 5. They both found out that there is a girl in the same town as them that looks just like them, like a little doppelganger. Sunny's mom, she wasn't surprised. Gina's dad wasn't surprised that they had a doppelganger because this was the agreement. After the divorce, they would each get 1 twin.
Oh,
I'm
they
not
messed
sure-
up. That's what they did to them. Oh my gosh, that's where the crazy comes out of. That's what happens. That's what happened, and that's why we have this story. They got experimented on. That's crazy. So it's kind of like implanted jealousy. Like, oh, that sucks. That actually sucks. That makes this story sadder than the actual like title.
If it was completely random, I don't know why Gina went with her dad and Sunny went with her mom, or if they had favorites ever since they were born. But the girls were split up, they're separated, and then later reunited with the
I could literally only imagine.
very calm introduction of like, oh yeah, you're twins. The reason for the reunion and the life epiphany was that Mr. Han decides he's going to be a family man. He met a new woman. He's going to start a new life with her, have children with her, and start a family. So in order to do that, he can't have a family. It's time for him to be child-free. So he gives Gina back to Mrs. Han, and they are reunited. Wow. And at first, it seems like the reunion is the best thing that could have ever happened. Sunny and Gina are so happy to be with each other, and I imagine it's like every kid's dream to find out that they have a long-lost twin out there, and now, instead of experiencing life alone, they have each other. And now both of them are living with Mrs. Han, their mother, and she's got double the kids, and she's putting in half the effort. There's a carton of eggs in the fridge. Bye! Be safe! She would just slam...
Oh, that sucks. Because although it could seem like cool, posh, whatever, that the twins are together, just the simple fact, like, your subconscious is going to take a mental note of somebody exited out of my life that didn't want me, and they gave me up. That's, like, your spirit could only decipher good and evil. Good, bad, light, dark. That's it. It doesn't have the nuance in between. So the fact that somebody leaves out of your life and gives you up to somebody that's giving half effort, twice the kids,
the door shut, and the girl...
That definitely does something on a child's psyche. That's where you consume everything like a sponge. That's when you're most impressionable is as a child. So that obviously dragged on until she was an adult.
Girls would be home alone for days, and they would be left with nothing but a carton of eggs. They would finish that tiny carton in a day or two, and now they have nothing. They don't have any food. They don't have anyone to call. They don't have anything to eat. In addition to that, they have no idea when their mom is going to be back. It's kind of a sadistic psychological experiment set up. The two of them are fighting for resources in the same house, a fight for survival. It's very primal, but at the same time, they are each other's only emotional comfort and support, which is, at that age, especially very critical for survival. It's a very confusing question of...
That's crazy that your dad had a twin. So you said, my dad had a twin that passed when they were 1. He said he always feels like He was missing something. So he didn't know he had a twin until he passed? That's crazy. That's crazy if that's what you meant.
Are they competing with each other or are they enduring it together? And all of this would be made even more confusing by the fact that random men would just show up at the house odd hours of the night. Sometimes their mom would let them in, and it would be one of her boyfriends. The girls never really bothered to learn their names because it was a revolving door. Other times their mom would hide behind the couch. Shh, do not say a single word and do not turn on the light.
Hide 2 girls
Yeah,
behind the couch?
because the loan sharks would be out and they can sniff out blood. 311% interest a year is what loan sharks in South Korea can charge. Meaning, if you borrow $10,000, you have to ultimately pay back the $10,000 you borrowed, but also an additional $31,100. The total amount that they gave you, $10,000. The total amount you got to give them back, $41,100. Mrs. Han is addicted to gambling, and her relationships in Korea are not working out. Her daughters, Gina and Sunny, are fighting nonstop. A normal day in the house consists of the girls finding new bruises on their bodies, putting Neosporin on new cuts, and counting how many hairs they ripped off each other's heads.
Oh, this is all in South Korea?
Yes, they move. Now it's time to put it all behind them. They pack their bags. We're moving to California. It's supposed to be this new fresh start, but it's not. It's the same thing that was happening in Korea, but now in California. Except it's so much worse because the girls can't go to the convenience store and try to buy a boiled egg. They don't know anybody in California. They don't speak the language. They just sit there at home with each other, and that's it. Until a few years later, they turn 13. Mom's like, pack your bags. Say goodbye to your friends because you're starting all over again. The car pulls up to a random house in Orange County. The door swings open and Mrs. Han walks them to the door. Meet your aunt. This is my sister. This is my sister's husband, your uncle. This is your...
Don't tell me she's gonna just drop him off now. That is so, like, oh my goodness. As a child, that is horrible.
new family now. And Mrs. Han just walks off.
Where did she go?
To gamble. To live her own life. Now, this is where I think the nurture part really comes into play because they went from moving to the United States in the 6th grade to becoming co-valedictorians of their high school 6 years later. A lot of people attribute this to their aunt and uncle, and I'm sure they do have quite a bit to do.
This is like super cool technique that a lot of people should use. It's like called putting on a condom or just not having sex or closing your legs. Fire. Like top-notch quality, guaranteed like 100% success. Like if you just close the legs or just not have sex, guaranteed there's no babies that you don't have to take care of. Guaranteed.
With it. But if you really knew the twins, there was this underlying steam just bubbling to burst. They were so intensely jealous of each other. It was likely the most overpowering emotion that they felt in their entire lives. They would rather die than let one be the valedictorian. They would rather push and push themselves until both of them were equal or one of them was better, but then the other one would die before they let that happen.
Wait, so they were both top of the class,
Yes.
exactly the same?
Yes,
Wow.
exact equal.
Wow.
It's as if you were to put the most stubborn people in the room, put them in a staring contest. Both eyes are wide open. A minute passes. Both of them start crying. There's tears streaming down their face. 2 minutes, their eye veins are popping out. 3 minutes, the whites of their eyes are bloodshot. They won't stop. They'd rather die. Somebody else in the middle has to be like, okay, you guys are both winners. Co-winners of the staring contest.
That's
Look
so
at the
weird.
winners.
You know how like usually when we talk about twins, like they have this crazy connection that they will do anything for their twins? This is like the opposite scale.
Yeah.
They are so like, you know.
And a lot of people attribute and wonder if it's because they were separated when they were kids.
That's what I'm thinking too, though. That's what I'm thinking. Said his mother told him they had pictures of the two. He later asked who the other baby was. They told him it was his sister, but she passed. She was a teenager when he found out. That's crazy. He always had problems with drugs in his life. I don't talk to him. That's wow. Best advice so far. Appreciate. Yeah, this should not be an experiment anymore to like, oh, let's see what twins would do. Like obviously statistically what has been found out is like there's self-exit. There's nothing good that comes out of it ever. Like, I haven't seen one good thing besides like a possible like, oh cool, we do the same thing. Like, imagine if they were cohabitants and just work together. I bet you they would be like far off into like the best life that they could have ever had, but weird people wanted to experiment on kids. Crazy. Protect the kids.
Kids subconsciously, if it happened as they were babies. Isn't that fascinating to think about? If you're a twin, please let me know in the comments if you think that would have made things different between your relationship.
Wow.
It's interesting. Now, that's the twins' relationship. They could not see the other one shine. They were hyper competitive in every aspect of their lives: school, grades, boys, friends, likability, which Gina Han always felt like it was unfair. Sunny was naturally more extroverted than Gina. People said, oh, Sunny, like her name.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned as we attempt.
Yeah, I could already see it now. Because they already have like this competitive spirit. But if one is extrovert and one is introvert, I mean, you could technically change that, like, forcefully. But it's very hard. I would definitely know. Because I'm charismatic and a social butterfly in particular points, but my social battery drains very fast. Like, I can't be out and about just around a bunch of people for all day. Can't do that. I'd be like 50%, 30%. Once I hit 30%, it's time to go home. Like, been past.
Sunny. And then things just came easier to Sunny. She would study 3 hours a day, get a 98 on an exam. Gina would have to study 5 hours to get the same freaking 98 on the same exact exam. But it's fine because Gina would just stay up late and put in the extra hours because she would rather die than see Sunny get a 98 and she get a 95.
Sheesh.
There is, however, one thing that Gina did not stand a chance on, no matter how hard she tried. And that was being mom's favorite. Sunny was always mom's favorite. Every time she would visit, it was always Sunny this, Sunny that.
The mom that left them?
Yeah. 21-year-old Gina walks up to her commanding officer, her senior at the Lackland Air Force Base in Texas. This is
Oh, wow. So if you guys didn't know, I was in the Air Force. Lackland Air Force Base is where you have basic training and sometimes tech school, just depending on what it was. I was security forces. So I was at basic training and tech school at Lackland Air Force Base. So this should be a little treat.
after high school. She graduates as co-valedictorian, and now she's in the Air Force. And side note, Lackland Air Force Base is not the type of place to go if you're interested in having a chill life. Trainees have to go through intense, rigorous physical training 6 days a week. On average, you have to be able to run 1.5 miles, do 33 push-ups and 42 sit-ups in...
I'm going to tell you right now, it is not rigorous. Now, depending on if you are getting into something different like special forces, it wouldn't be at Lackland. It'd be like a different base in Texas that's close to Lackland, but Lackland Air Force, like, it's not tough.
Under 12 minutes, which my toxic trait is like, that doesn't sound too hard. No, it's really hard, okay? And that's just the physical training aspect. There's the military training, combat lessons, field training, academic studies. Every second of your day.
Now the academics, all right, that'd be my butt. I ain't gonna lie to you. I suck at that stuff. But that's why I went to the Air Force, because I knew that was more of my challenge than the physical attributes. The academics kicked my butt. But it doesn't seem like these people were in the experiment. She just used the example. I don't think they were like used as a specific experiment, but they were separated though. You know what I mean? No, the parents separated them. Yeah, the parents separated them. So that Disney movie was a lie. Facts.
Is prepped and planned. There is no such thing as freedom when you're defending the nation's freedom. Gina walks up to her commanding officer. So guys, I'm really lesbian.
What? Wait, hold on. Who is the older sister? Is there older, younger?
Sunny is 5 minutes older.
Sunny's older. Got it.
Yes. Gina walks up to her commanding officer. I'm very lesbian. I'm very gay. I love women. This is her last resort. She tried other things. She tried to tell them that.
So she's trying to be Is she trying to be different, or she thinks that's better? What? I couldn't imagine like my brother be like, I'm gonna one up my older brother. I'm gay. Like what? What? That's like the most backward thing I could think of. I'm gonna be gay. Like whoa. All right, bro, you got it.
That her dad was sick, but they didn't care. When you join the Air Force, you have to sign a contract for at least 2 years, sometimes 4 or 6. And you know how your job, you have to give, well, it's polite to give a 2-week notice, but technically you can just walk out and never come back. The military, you can't do that. You sign your life away to the government. You have to either be honorably or dishonorably discharged. If you walk off that base, you've gone
Or medically.
AWOL. And if you go AWOL and they catch you, you're going to be tried in military court.
I have like so many military stories, and one of them is them marking me as AWOL. I didn't go AWOL, but they said I went AWOL, and I didn't. But I had to do some stuff. Like I had to write like a report and all types of bull crap, and then they dropped all of it. That's such a long story, but yeah, I know the vibes. Trust.
Gina tried other methods. My dad is very, very, very sick. No, Cadet Han, unless you have medical records, we cannot discharge you. Okay,
Nah, she's not, like, you can't get kicked out for being gay. Nah.
I'm gay. I'm a lesbian. Cadet Han, you are discharged.
What?
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on.
What does that mean?
Back
It's
this
the
thing up.
donut. Honorably.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
Or dishonorably discharged. If you walk off that base, you've gone AWOL. And if you go AWOL and they catch you, you're going to be tried in military court. Gina tried other methods. My dad is very, very, very sick. No, Cadet Han, unless you have medical records, we cannot discharge you. Okay, I'm gay. I'm a lesbian. Cadet Han, you are discharged.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's the don't ask, don't tell era. This is in the military. Being gay was completely banned at one point. They said it was, quote, incompatible with military service. So if
Forgot about that. That is very true.
you were gay, you'd be discharged on the spot. Then the policy changed. They said, fine, you can be gay,
Yeah.
but you don't ever let anybody know about it.
Yeah, that's the don't ask, don't tell. Like, do what you do, just don't tell me, because technically when it was forbidden, the moment I know, I have to tell, or whatever the hell. But yeah, honestly, I care less.
We don't ask, you don't tell, okay? If you tell, you will be discharged. I'm just saying. Because, you know, in the military, in times of war, there's bombs, there's missiles going off, there's casualties.
Yeah, nobody cares about your sex when it comes down to, like, military. Like, we both getting shot at, so I don't care. What the hell?
But God forbid someone talks about being gay. That is so scary. They're shaking in their boots. They don't know what to do anymore. It would be too horrific, tragic, stressful for the big bad boys in the military. Over 13,000 service members were discharged under the don't ask, don't tell policy, including Gina Han. She's not gay. She just really wanted to get out of the Air Force. So with that military housing, Gina tries to find the quickest place to find employment and the best in terms of earning potential, fast hiring, was probably the casino. She starts working the tables as a blackjack dealer, and she would, on average, you know, they make about $20,000 a year, but that's just the base salary. Most of their money comes in the form of tips. Las Vegas dealers can make over 6 figures a year depending on how good they are and which casino they work in. One day,
You said you want to hear that AWOL story? That'll be just as long as a Rotten Mango episode, honestly.
Gina's working the tables when her colleague comes up to her. Hey, you want to go for drinks after? It'll be fun. We barely know you. What time do you get off? Oh, I get off in like 30 minutes. oh, we get off in like 2 hours. Do you mind waiting for us? So Gina's like, okay, that's fine. I'll wait for them. She clocks out and she's got about an hour and a half to kill. And she's glancing around looking for something to do. I mean, she doesn't want to eat because she's not hungry. She doesn't want to drink because she's going out for drinks. And of course, the thought did cross her mind. Does a referee have a better chance at winning a soccer game? Or a complete stranger who's never even seen a soccer field have a better chance at winning a soccer game? She's like, me, the referee. So she walks over to the blackjack table because she's a blackjack dealer and she starts betting.
Well, now she get, well, hopefully, this goes back down to nature, because if you know your family, like you probably should know your family, everybody got that one uncle that people don't like to speak about, but touched little kids way back in the day, or probably still does. You probably have like a family reputation that does a particular thing. Hers is probably gambling or anything with money. Her mom was, addicted to gambling. So this ain't a good start. In my family, it's definitely heavy and like addicted to drugs, drinking, gang violence, things of that nature. So my dad would keep me away from a lot of that bullcrap, thank the Lord. Actually, he kept me away from like 90% of it, especially from my family. So shout out to my dad.
She loses every single penny that she earned that day. And now the dilemma hits. Either I go home after 9 hours of work and I get nothing because I lost it all, or I invest money, some money, okay, and withdraw some cash in the name of winning. Maybe she can still walk away with the money that she earned from her 9 hours of work, or maybe she could even make more money. Gina walks over to the ATM. Her max cash withdrawal in a day is $300. She withdraws all $300 and she loses all $300. But now
okay. Look, I understand because I had my time in the military. But people that don't have a plan, you cannot be like so frustrated at yourself that you didn't prepare to leave. She just got discharged just because she didn't like the military. But standard, military will pay you regardless if you're sick or not, blah, blah, blah. You get paid. It's not about the hours that you put in. It's you sign your name on the dotted line and you're getting paid twice a month. You know what I'm saying? You get the food hall. You know what I'm saying? You get to go get food all the time, and you have free housing. But now she living out here bumming it, no plan. It'd be different if she like was diligent on a year-long plan, like, all right, I'm gonna get out in this time, and this is, or waited her time out, and she over here shot her own self in the foot, and now she's struggling. That's crazy.
Oh, now it's personal. It's a numbers game, right? If she lost this much, eventually she will have to win. That's how life works. That's how the numbers games
Shout out to my dad.
work. You can't just lose and lose and lose and lose, right? But if she doesn't play, she will lose that chance to win. And all of this would have been for nothing. She has to play again. Gina does not go out for drinks with her coworkers. Instead, she sits there waiting for the bank to open the next morning.
This all happened the first time?
The first night that she gambles. She waits until 9 a.m. so she can go to the bank, withdraw all the cash that she has in her savings account, and go play the tables. Because
that is the dumbest thing ever. Like, regardless, yes, the casinos always win. But there is strategy. Number is a numbers game. And there's a win-lose ratio. There's card counting, there's percentages, there's math involved, like there's so, and then also knowing that there's what's the word, whatever, but there's just so much that goes into this, and she's just like winging it. That's how you get broke.
she feels like she's about to win big. She loses it all. And it would be the start of a pattern. Every day, Gina would clock in for work, make her money, clock out, sit at the table, and lose more than she made.
So she's now starting the cycle like her mom. When we're talking about nature, nurture, well, now with nature and nurture, she still has the nature, her bloodline, her trait of her mom that she actually didn't grow up with. Crazy, right? Bloodline. Now she's like at the tables. You know what I'm saying? And now and it's funny because it's like chasing. What is it called? What's that movie? Chasing Happiness or something like that. It's with like Will Smith and his son. The Pursuit of Happiness. So she's like, it's like the pursuit of money, chasing a hope.
Just like her mom. Meanwhile, Sunny, mom's favorite, full ride scholarship to the University of Laverne. She's graduated college and is now living one of those very annoyingly perfect Facebook lives. I mean, she's got the cute little apartment, the ones with the resort style pool and a full-size gym included in the rent. She gets to drive around in a white BMW every day and wear designer clothes and her leather handbag that's designer. Does she even think about Gina? They barely talk after high school. Is that why they never call? She's too busy creating this perfect life and forgetting all about her twin sister. It's a very painful contrast to Gina's life right now. She's been in jail multiple times, Gina, for stealing. She's in debt. She's addicted to gambling. And she feels inferior to her sister.
I wonder if she really wanted to win also just to...
Show Sunny.
Yeah, or just win, compared to Sunny.
Win something.
Right, because she's not winning.
No. And do you think
No, she's not making good decisions. She's not making good decisions.
minutes can change your entire life?
Yeah.
That's how Gina feels. Sunny was born 5 minutes earlier than Gina. 5 minutes. 300 seconds. It's something that Sunny would never let her forget. And that's why Gina thinks Sunny was mom's favorite, because in Korea, there is a hierarchy. And now every time Gina thinks about Sunny, she's reminded of that. I think everyone has this feeling, the feeling of, oh, if I did that one thing differently, how would my life be? If I studied harder, if I didn't miss that job interview, if I dated that guy, would my life be different? Okay, rather, if I didn't date that guy, that's a better one, okay? Would it look like that? Gina knew what her life would look like. Because us, we could sit here and wonder, but it's literally an imagination. Gina knows exactly what her life would look like if it was better. She could just go on Facebook and see Sunny living her better life. It's watching her parallel universe self living the fantastic life, and she's not there. And technically, she could be. She could have that life. I mean,
so just to break the monotony of the woulda, shoulda, coulda been multiverse, other personality, or if I was a this, that, I'm gonna tell you right now, what gave me peace is to know that honestly, none of that matters. Like, everything that matters is the present time right now. All the mistakes that you made you into the person you are right now, whether you like yourself or not. Guess what? You are still here, and you can't live yesterday and you can't live for tomorrow. You only have to live in the present time. So being gracious of the time that you have and being present in the time, being conscientious of and gracious of everything that you have. Because look, you got all your limbs, hopefully. You have a roof over your head, food in your mouth, family, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people don't have that. So practicing gratitude and being present and conscious of the time that you have now made me more at peace. And a lot of people don't. That's a skill. That is a skill. You have to train yourself to be able to do that. That's not like an overnight thing, and it's not like an aha moment. But it is something that you have to come to realization that is your ultimate reality is right now. Trust me, I've been through 2 psych wards. I know a little bit about stuff.
I mean, why not? She has the same DNA as her, the same face, the same everything. I mean, she's technically entitled to that life. The only problem is there can only be one Sunny Han, and Gina would do anything to be her. 19-year-old Helen is sitting on the couch debating. She's completely frozen, and she's thinking, do I just sit here and act like I didn't hear that, or do I go investigate? So annoying. She decides to get up to investigate. She walks towards the front door of the apartment unit. There's a small side window right next to it. She was just gonna quietly peek out and make sure it's nobody important, like one of her 4 other roommates. When they make eye contact, he sees her, and now it's too late. If she crouches down and tries to hide now, the man at the door is gonna know that someone is home and is pretending not to be home, which isn't illegal. It's just awkward. Helen makes a split-second choice to just open the door a crack. I mean, she already dealt with him earlier, the boy selling magazines, which is kind of strange. It's not like he came back a day ago to sell her a magazine. He came back an hour ago. But maybe he forgot he already came to this apartment unit. Or maybe he really is desperate to sell these magazines. Who knows? All Helen knows is she does not want to answer this freaking door. Hi. The same boy is holding a spread of magazines in his hand. Next to him, off to the side, is another boy. Just standing there. It's weird. Hi, are you interested in buying a magazine?
They're scouting. Those are the hitmen, whatever you want to call them. They're probably from the gang, but they're scouting. I'm guessing this wasn't super long ago, compared to the pictures or whatever. As far as it looked kind of a little probably 2010, 2012, 13, something like that. But they're scouting. How people get addicted to gambling. I know someone who lost a house. I'm too cheap for that. When I went to Vegas twice, I played the nickel and dime slots. You gambled on university. See, I think there's so for my instance, I just started sports betting. Nothing crazy, but specifically boxing and MMA, because in my life I've done 17 years of martial arts and boxing and fighting, and I'm also a boxing coach, if you guys didn't know. So I know the game. I can look at a fighter and know off 30 seconds to a minute of watching them who's gonna win the fight. So it's a more educated guess, but even though fights are still up and down, whatever, but I don't be going crazy. I'll be $100, that's it, and then that'll be my my spin limit, and that'll be it. But I think people have their own vice. Everybody has their own vice, and to know what your vice is and then to eliminate it out of your life is probably the best thing you could possibly do.
She looks down at the copies of Vogue, Cosmopolitan. Do they not remember?
You saw the Golden Globes? Hey, shout out to you. The Golden Globes are fun to definitely watch. One of my buddies is actually in the Olympic. Is fighting for the U.S. for the Olympics. I think he's fighting at 119 or something like that. He's a little small guy.
They were literally here 55 minutes ago. Oh, no thank you. I'm all right. She's about to close the door when the hand catches it. Would anyone else, any of your roommates, be interested? Oh, we all share magazines, so I think we're fine. Thank you, though. Helen's getting this weird feeling in her gut right now. I mean, normally magazine salespeople, they work alone. It's not a job that requires 2 people. It'd be a waste of time and resources to have 2 people going door to door. Why aren't they even just splitting up going door to door? And then the other guy, he's just standing there. He's not even holding magazines. And they came just an hour ago. Why would they come back unless they're not trying to sell magazines? They're trying to do something else. So Helen steps back, goes to close the door, but the man with the magazines quickly drops them, and both the 2 guys lunge forward, prevent her from closing the door. They force their way into the apartment. Helen's trying to run into the apartment to the room where she knows her other roommate is. The men chase her down, tackle her to the floor, pin her down on her stomach. She feels the weight of a man on top of her and the coldness on her left temple. There is a gun pressed up against her head. Shut the f up and sit down on the ground. If you shut the f up, you'll be all right. They start tying her hands together with a piece of plastic twine behind her back. They place a long strip of sticky duct tape over her mouth, and she can hear their conversations. I mean, she's looking for a way out, and she hears them talking, and it's so strange. It sounds like they're looking for someone. Initially, she thought
I don't know who needs to hear this, but don't just swing the door open just because someone knocks or ring the doorbell. I don't care if they see you, see them, peek out the blinds wherever you are. You gotta protect you first. And a lot of people lack situational awareness. So yeah, that wasn't very smart. I'm not sure how she opened up the door, but if I saw same person a second time after I said no to magazine, the next time I'm coming to the door, it's with some hollows. Like, we're not talking.
it was a burglary. Then she thought maybe an essay. Then she thought, oh no, is it murder? But it sounds like it's not random. Shit. What the hell? I thought you said that she's home alone now. I don't know. How the hell am I supposed to know? There is another roommate. Are they looking for her? That other roommate had just gotten out the shower and she hears Helen screaming her name, but she has no idea what's going on outside. She just screams back, "Come in." She rushes to put her clothes on and she's waiting for Helen to come in, but nothing is happening. She just stands there quietly listening, like, did I not hear her correctly? And instead of Helen, she hears two guys half whispering, half shouting, "Shut up, be quiet, get the tape. Where the hell is her roommate?" Helen's roommate starts freaking out. She rushes to grab her phone from the bed, runs back to the bathroom, barricades herself inside, and starts calling 911. She's freaking out. "My roommate's being R-worded. There's a burglar. Please send someone quickly. Hurry."
What's your address?
She quickly turns off her phone so that they can't see that she called 911, and she cuts it so close. Her phone screen just turned black when the door to the bathroom slams open. Did you fucking call someone? Answer the question right now. Did you fucking call someone? There's two men that she does not recognize, and she's begging them, no, I just hung up on my friend, please no. They throw her onto the ground, tie her arms back together, duct tape her head multiple times, and she's pleading with them, "Please, can you just please leave my nose unwrapped so I can breathe, please?" Helen manages to get her hands loose from the twine while the guys are working up tying her roommate. It's her chance. She makes a run for it. She books it to the door, but one of the guys runs after her, tackles her to the ground. "I should shoot you for that." They grab her arm and drag her back into her roommate's room. And at first, the guys place both the girls on the bed, lying face down, side by side. But very quickly, they decide to change direction. They throw both of them in the bathtub, sitting next to each other, side by side. Both Helen and the roommate are rocking back and forth in fear, shaking. I mean, when they were on the bed, the implication was clear. The motive of the crime is essay. But when they're placed in the bathtub, why would you do that? Unless you have plans to try and facilitate an easy cleanup for murder, for blood? And they're sobbing. They're trying to comfort each other when one of the guys turns to the other one and says, "Go tell Gina they're ready." Helen's roommate freezes. Gina Han? Her twin sister? There's no way. Her own twin sister would never. But also, it's impossible. Because Gina Han is supposed to be in jail. The Han parents did notice some odd...
She should have still been in jail. Like, what? Yo, how do you, man, to not know that your twin was like plotting on you and had it out for you? I mean, you would have to have a sense of like wanting to check up on their mental or check up on them in any way, shape, or form. But hey, man, I don't know.
Things about their kids when they were young. They didn't know that there was a word for it. Well, two words. It's called twinning reaction. Even when the two girls were separated as children after the parents divorced, when one of them would get sick with no contact or conversation with the other one, or it's not even that there's something going around in the schools, the other one would just get sick too. Even when they're living apart, neither knows that the other one is sick, which has sometimes resulted in some twins expressing that connection in some very dark, twisted ways. One very fascinating observation that some psychologists have made, and I don't know if the research on this is sound, but they state that sometimes when twins feel immense anger and resentment towards their twin, they will self-harm.
Wow. So I feel like there's like they're more spiritually connected. That's the only way that's like you can feel that, because for my brother, we're not twins. I don't feel that. You know what I'm saying? But that is crazy though. Like, wow. I feel like they weren't close enough to know or to want to check on each other, because it was said that they kind of broke connection after high school and they just lived their own life, just like if they're a normal brother and sister, I guess, rather than just twins. But I don't know. That's kind of wild.
Desire for violence starts with their twin, but then it starts meshing in their minds as violence towards themselves because they feel like they have a shared identity. So they sometimes take out that violence that they feel for their twin on their own bodies.
Notes.
It might also have to do with the idea that when one twin is in pain, the other one feels it. This was supposed to be the second day that Sunny is testifying on the stand against her twin sister, Gina Han, for conspiring to murder her. But when she gets on the stand, she's completely disoriented. She's slurring her words. She has no makeup on, which is fine. But the last time she testified, she's like full blazer, full face. This time she's in her nightgown. She looks spaced out, and for some reason, she can only talk in this high-pitched whisper. And at times, she opens her mouth like she wants to say something, but then she just freezes. And then it takes her a second to slowly close her mouth, and the whole courtroom is staring at her like, what is going on right now? On the stand, she's asked, "You were late this morning, Sunny Han. Can you tell the court why?" "Right, so I told 2 people already what happened. Yesterday I had a big fight with my mom, and then I argued with my boyfriend, and he was just so rude, and then we ended up breaking up again. So what I did was I went to the drugstore and I bought 3 boxes of sleeping pills. Each box contains about 20-something pills." "Why did you take the sleeping pills?" "I was angry, upset, and I wanted to self-exit."
Miss Han, you're still under oath. You were late this morning. Could you tell me why?
Okay. I told 2 people already. What happened was, yesterday I had a big fight with my mom, and then I argued with my boyfriend, and he was so rude, and then we just ended up breaking up again. So what I did was I went to the drugstore and bought 3 boxes of sleeping pills.
Sunny had taken 35 sleeping pills and chugged beer until she blacked out. She was taken straight from the courtroom to the hospital. Even just getting her off the witness podium, it took 3 people to help her down. So if twinning reaction dictates that one twin feels the other's pain, then Gina should feel pain when Sunny is recovering in the ICU during the trial, right? Maybe not. Because this set of twins, they're so different from other twins. Maybe one falling apart does not mean the other is going to fall apart. Maybe it's the opposite for the Han sisters.
Yeah, and I feel like it's because they had lack thereof connection. They didn't have a strong bond. Yeah, that's my guess. That's my guess, honestly. Hey, make sure you guys like the stream, you know what I'm saying? And follow the Twitch. Come on there. Come be streaming on Twitch in the future.
Kind of like vampires. Maybe when one is strong and thrives, the other must sacrifice for the other. They cannot both be happy and succeed. During the trial and even afterwards, Mrs. Han, their mom, came back into the picture, and she felt like, this is my chance to step up and be the mom that I never was to my daughter. She couldn't even imagine what her daughter was going through in that moment. Through the trial, she helped her recover emotionally and mentally. She took care of her. She talked her through her emotions, supported her while she got her behavioral science degree. She just wanted to see her daughter get her life back. And she regularly would visit her daughter in prison. Gina. As for Sunny, Mrs. Han doesn't talk to Sunny anymore. She's got a new favorite daughter.
Wait, so Gina is in jail for trying to murder Sunny?
Yes, she was in jail for something else, escaped, got out, tried to murder Sunny, and now she's in jail during the trial. And the whole trial, Mrs. Han is supporting Gina.
I thought Mrs. Han likes Sunny more.
Exactly. But during the trial, suddenly she switches up and she only supports Gina. She doesn't even talk to Sunny anymore.
Huh.
The trial was truly a mess. I mean, there were 3 groups of people. One group that thought that Gina is the evil twin, Sunny is the good twin, and it's simple as that. Another group who really supported Gina and believed that her life was just spiraling out of control, but she's not as evil as the prosecutors are making her out to be. And a third group of people who thought both the twins were kind of weird. Which is wild to think that a lot of people were supporting Gina, because even when Gina is arrested for conspiring to murder Sunny, She uses Sunny's name in the jailhouse. The officers are like, "What's your name? We're arresting you for conspiracy to commit murder." And she says, "My name is Sunny Han."
Is that the one at the beginning that she was telling the cop her name was Sunny in the car?
Yes.
So she keeps telling.
Yeah, these parents are. It's the parents' fault. I'm always gonna blame the parents. Like, the only way somebody really turns out to be a dirtbag is one, parents, and two, I mean, it's really based on how you react to situations, because you come to these crossroads situations in your life, and it could either turn out good, bad, or indifferent. So
Everyone that her name is Sunny.
Yes. She starts slowly trying to just take Sunny's identity before even killing her.
Okay. But now she's arrested for killing Sunny.
And she still claims that she's Sunny. And it was a whole shit show during the trial to get through, to think that, okay, there's two Sunnys and we got to make sure. And it's not like.
oh my gosh, it is rain. Like, I'm in the Pacific Northwest. It is raining. It's been like hail, rain, everything besides snow. It's been today. Like 70, 68% of the year is like straight up just.
Mom can tell.
But I do think that's fascinating to think about.
Yeah.
It was a twin case where they tried to commit the perfect murder because they were twins and they had the same DNA. And they would create alibis for each other because they also look the same.
Oh, they have
And
the same
witnesses-
exact DNA as well.
Who are strangers would not be able to tell them apart. It's very.
Ooh, so if you guys can remember when I was talking about like blood, and then if you get like a blood transfusion, like somebody else's blood, even though it's like the same blood type, you can take on somebody else's like traits. They have the same exact blood and blood type, so they would have initially like the same like tendencies and possibly even vices, but one stays away and one goes towards them. So all comes by choice.
Interesting. During the trial, Sunny's past became a huge conversation for the public. Why she was even arrested in the first place. Because
It definitely does support the terrible behavior.
Sunny Han was arrested, remember? After punching her sister.
So they were both arrested.
Yes. So at first, when the public finds out about this trial, they think it's one evil twin, one good twin. One good twin went to the University of Laverne on a full ride scholarship. She's doing this amazing thing. She's living in Irvine with her white BMW. She's the good twin. She's following the law. And Gina is getting arrested nonstop. She has a gambling addiction. She lied to the Air Force. It's one good, one evil. But then they find out, actually, Sunny has a crazy criminal history as well. And it's very interesting because remember how Doug and his twin from the twinning reaction psychological study, they got married the same year. They had kids the same year. Sunny and Gina also lived parallel lives after high school, just a little bit differently. They both would get arrested for the same thing, theft. Sunny would.
Then that kind of goes back to where I was saying about the blood and blood transfusion, them having like the exact same blood. So they still technically doing the same thing. It's just different.
Would end up dropping out of the University of Laverne. When she was competing against her sister, she was hyper competitive, but it didn't seem like she was competitive with anybody else. She lost motivation in her studies. The only thing that she cared about was keeping up with the Orange County kids, which a lot of them were rich. I mean, the University of Laverne tuition is $55,000 a year. That's not including room, board, rent, transportation, everything, personal cost. They all drive nice cars. Their rent is paid for by their parents, all of Sunny's friends, and it just doesn't sit right with her. She hates it. So she tries to get a little side job. She's working at school and then she tries to maybe working at an ice cream shop, one of those side gigs. I mean, it's a numbers game. How many hours can you work? How much can you get paid per hour? There's no way that she can work enough outside of school to be able to afford the lives that these other students have. So she starts disappearing on the weekends. At first, her friends don't notice. Early on, they thought maybe she has friends outside of class or a new boyfriend that lives in the next town over. But there would be these small inconsistencies, and honestly, it felt like lies were just adding up. And Sunny's friends discover that she had been working as a dancer in Pomona.
Is that a bar?
It's like a
Club?
town.
So Pomona is mostly Crip area of California. But she's more than likely in the hood, low key.
In Orange County. She starts working there as, I guess, a dancer, yes. She just could not stand the idea of someone having something that she doesn't have. She gets so swept up in it, she loses her scholarship, drops out of school, and everything just starts going downhill from there. She was arrested after punching Gina in the face because she stole her friend's credit card and went on a shopping spree. She bought designer lingerie, shoes, sunglasses. She spent thousands of dollars, and there was a warrant out for her arrest. Later, when she's arrested, she looks genuinely confused. She would tell the police and the judge, "I truly did not think that my friend would have even been upset because she's rich. I didn't think that she would miss the money."
That is so, like, how out of touch. All these out of touch with reality people are crazy, man.
Whoa.
So this is brought
That's
up in
wild.
Yeah, and it's the same attitude that Gina has every time she's arrested. So while Gina feels inferior to Sunny, Sunny felt inferior to literally everybody else that she went to school with. A close friend of the family said, "They're both the same. They didn't know the difference between wants and needs because I guess half the time they didn't have what they needed. So their wants just got out of control." A lot of netizens find it very fascinating that even though they're technically separated after high school, they went on to live very parallel lives, committing very similar crimes.
So Sunny uses
Her friends. Now, the Korean American community came together to send letters to the judge asking for leniency for Gina, which I thought was very interesting.
That
But
is
they
interesting.
stated in the letters that siblings fighting is part of Korean culture, and this was overblown and over-dramatized by the American police.
Excuse me? So the Korean community came together and been like, "You got it all wrong. That's a part of our culture. You're being too dramatic. This is normal. Y'all need to relax." That's crazy. That's actually really crazy. That's the first time I ever heard that. Like, imagine just, wow. Okay. For sure.
Which again, I'm Korean
Wait.
American. I have never fought with my sister like that. Ever.
like attempted murder.
Or even just like punching each other in the face.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Korean community was supporting Gina a lot. They really rallied behind Gina during the trial. And I think it was probably part and due because Sunny begins supporting Gina during the trial. During the first day of testimony, Sunny was coherent. She's testifying against Gina as the star.
I think it really spiraled because they separated. Like from high school, they weren't together. They still could have been on some bull crap, but I feel like they still would have been better off, even though the little nuance of jealousy or whatever. I feel like they could have really squashed it or talked about it or hashed it out if they were together, and they would have been well off just cohabitating. Probably starting their own business or working together somewhat, whatever. But the moment they separated I feel like is when everything went downhill for sure. So that's crazy. Wow.
Witness. She's the prosecutor's star witness. But in the middle of the trial, she starts changing her story. Or at least she starts changing how she feels about the crime. She tells the court that she does not believe that her sister tried to kill her. It's stated that while in jail during the trial, Gina would call Sunny saying things like, "This is all a big conspiracy. There's no reason for me to want to kill you." This is a big case of the cops not
she's
understanding how
twisting
Korean
it.
siblings are and trying to brainwash everyone into believing that it was actually a conspiracy to commit murder when it wasn't. It's just a shitty fight gone wrong. For what?
But okay, my question was, what were they trying to do when they broke into the house?
Gina tells her, "I left my stuff at your place, right? And you weren't picking up your calls. You didn't want me to come see you. We were fighting and I just wanted my belongings back and I wanted to teach you a lesson. And so I sent in these two guys and I just wanted them to tie you up, but I don't know why they brought out the gun and all these things. I just needed backup so I could get my stuff back. I just wanted my stuff back." I don't know why the two guys did all of that. Truly, it's a mystery to me. Why they threw you in the bathtub, we never talked about that. That was never part of the plan. Sunny, you have to trust me.
Were you trying to forget it when you were talking to the people from Lisa?
Yes.
You were?
Yes.
When you went on the Lisa show, you were trying to forget this?
No, when I was on Lisa's show, I wanted to tell people the things that was untrue. I wanted to clarify that.
I don't believe that she tried to kill me. That's just totally nonsense. There's no motive.
During the trial, Sunny is asked, at times, did it feel as though your mother had abandoned the both of you? Yes. And at those times, who was it that you turned to? Gina. And how do you feel about your sister? How do you currently feel about your sister, Gina? This is on the stand after Gina tries to kill her. I want to do everything I can to help her.
So that gets me to the basic question. How do you feel about your sister?
Currently, I want to do everything I can to help her.
The two guys that stormed the apartment and tie up Helen and Sunny are probably the most puzzling part of this case. Who are they? Why are they even helping? Their names are Archie and Yoshi, and neither of them planned on getting arrested that day. Archie was the main one with the gun, and he told Yoshi to go get Gina, who's waiting in the car to come see her sister. So Yoshi runs out into the blue Mustang. Archie is going through the stuff looking for Gina's belongings. And I don't know what would have happened had Gina made her way in. But when Yoshi gets to the passenger seat, an officer stops them in the parking lot. Meanwhile, Archie is still in the house. He has no idea that there's police that showed up until there's a banging on the door. He momentarily opens it up thinking it's Gina and Yoshi, but he's face to face with 4 officers, holding their guns straight at his face. He freezes for a second. If I run, are you gonna shoot me? They scream, get down on the ground. He slams the front door, starts running towards the back door. He gets tackled because they break in and arrested. Gina and Yoshi, they just drive off, leaving Archie behind. I mean, Gina knew since day one she's not going to prison for this. If Gina felt any guilt for what she did to her sister, she's leaving it somewhere on the highway because she's high-speed driving down to San Diego, running into the bank, insisting that she is Sunny Han, throwing down her ID. I'd like to withdraw $5,000 from my account today. My name is Sunny Han. They give her $5,000 in cash.
Facts, she definitely got gaslit.
And now Gina and Yoshi are sitting in a car dealership trying to purchase a $40,000 Nissan.
What?
Her original plan that she told people was to drive to Mexico, get a plane ticket, fly to South Korea, start over, start fresh. But they're not selling her the car. For one,
So remember her mom trying to leave situations? That's the same type of story that we heard with what her name, Gina. So out the military, she left, said she was gay. Worked at the casino, did her thing, blah, 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 got in trouble, did all the things, trying to escape reality. So she was gambling a whole bunch and got addicted to that kind of lifestyle, in and out of jail. Now this situation, now she's trying to leave that situation and go to Mexico and then fly to Korea. Bro, what?
Her credit application that she filled out has scratches all over it, meaning she's answering the questions on the form and then scratching it out and writing new answers. Like she doesn't even know the answers to her own identity. Does this woman have amnesia? Why is she forgetting pretty standard things about herself? Hey, Sunny, do you mind refilling this out?
Oh.
Gina starts refilling out the credit application and everything is about to clear and close, but the dealership tells her, okay, we're good to go, but you're not getting the car till tomorrow. She starts freaking out. I'll throw $1,000 down right now for it. They are denied. So Gina and Yoshi head to a rental car place and they try to get a new rental car. So the blue Mustang that they were in was already a rental. They had turned it in. But now they're completely carless and they need to get a new car. And they're sitting on the couch in the rental shop waiting for that new car on the love seat. The police would later say it looked like they were cuddling, Gina and Yoshi. So, who knows? They were physically very close, which becomes problematic later. But they're on the couch, kind of cuddling, and officers storm the place screaming, get your hands up where I can see them! Get your hands out where I can see them! On the floor, now, get on the ground! Yoshi practically throws himself onto the ground, but Gina gets up instead of getting down. I said get down now! She's like half holding her hands up, half...
She over here trying to explain, dude trying not to get shot. She's just trying to, bro, what? These, oh my gosh. When reality doesn't hit, that's what it looks like. Someone that's doing what is told the other person, like, what's going on, while there's guns drawn. Like, are you not understanding the magnitude of what a bullet could do to all y'all? And guess what? A lot of police officers, by policy, rule, regulation, a lot of them aren't going to allow you to live because you could testify against them. So more than likely, they're going to shoot you dead if, you know what I'm saying? Just let you know. I mean, obvious stories on news and everything, but I'm just telling you what is normally told behind the scenes is like by backwards cops, but is to clear the whole magazine. Because guess what? If they testify and you didn't shoot to kill, you in trouble. So.
Going, why are you doing this? I don't have any weapons. Get down. Get down. Eventually, both Gina and Yoshi are arrested. Archie was already arrested at the apartment. Now, 2 factors would make this arrest very complicated. 1, Gina keeps insisting she's Sunny Han. And 2, both Archie and Yoshi are underage. Archie is 16, Yoshi is 15, and Gina is 23.
Oh my gosh. How did they know each other?
2 weeks before the attempted murder scheme, Gina Han is sitting in prison. She's got a few more months left in her prison sentence. She stole about $40,000 from her uncle. He reported her. She got arrested. Yeah, the uncle that took her in high school. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, this wasn't even the first time that she was in trouble with the law. She had been on Target's watch list for a really long time for stealing cosmetics. It's a whole thing. She said that she was doing it to support herself. One person close to the twins said,
Yeah, I wonder if these girls are not only a product of a constant abandoning, but since some mental illness is hereditary, that may be a factor. That's why their behavior is similar to the mom. We don't hear too much about the dad, besides him just, I'm out of here, you know what I mean? But yeah, the abandonment does hit pretty crazy for everybody. So like sense of belonging, sense of purpose, you can go all the way down the line with that. So yeah, I could definitely see that for sure.
I mean, honestly, it felt like they just lacked plain practical sense. They didn't even seem to know how to cope with anything. So she's in prison, and
I appreciate the likes for the live stream, y'all. Much love. Thank you. Thank you.
Fellow inmate said, that little Korean girl, so weird. Nonstop talking about how she hates her twin sister and wants to see her die. I mean, she said that she's so angry she can't even hold it in anymore. She needs her dead. Even amongst inmates is a lot. They said, that bitch is crazy. Like, she doesn't take social cues. She does not read a single room. She just walk into a room.
Situational awareness is gone. That's why she was just like, what are you guys doing? I don't even have a weapon. Nobody doesn't know that you don't have a weapon. They coming in because of the situation and why they were called, blah, blah, blah. And you over here like, what? Get on the floor.
And she'd be like, it's not even that hard. It would honestly be kind of easy if you really think about it. Kill my twin sister, sell her gold jewelry, get all of her cash, drive down to Mexico, fly to South Korea from Tijuana, and start a new life.
Wait, she said this?
Yeah. But just because you're in jail and you want to go out to kill somebody doesn't mean they're just going to let you out. So you can commit more crimes and then come back here for a longer sentence. Gina Han escapes jail in the world's most anticlimactic way possible.
Escapes?
Work furlough. She's just allowed to leave. She's allowed to walk out of jail for 5 hours a day to work and then come back in. She's basically just getting a free place to stay at night. The program is technically put in place so inmates who have a job and are in prison for a few months, they can hopefully still have a job when they get out because they're not.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's kind of weird. To be like, you work however many hours throughout the day, and then I guess it'd be part-time at that time. I don't think they'll let you do full-time, but you work part-time and then you go back to jail every day. Dog, what? How? Oh.
Missing work. But also, inmates will hopefully be able to get back into society a little bit better. Now, Gina has 5 hours to kill her sister. That's not enough. That's not enough. She can barely make it to Irvine in that time. So she takes a 2-week work furlough instead. She becomes a fugitive. She just walks out, no intention of coming back.
So she's intended to really take over the sister's ID.
That's what a lot of people are saying, because you don't walk out on work furlough if you want to have a future.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't get a job. You can no longer be Gina Han. You're a fugitive. And just like the situation with the Air Force, without the government provided housing, Gina has nowhere to go. So this time, she can't just show up at a casino and ask for a job. She's a fugitive. She ends up in this halfway house in San Diego that's owned by two sisters. And she's staying there. No thoughts, no plans, just vibes. Until
Just vibes.
she sees 16-year-old Archie walk into the halfway house. He doesn't really have anywhere else
This dude looked like he 36, not 16.
to be. I mean, there's not a ton of options for a 16-year-old whose parents don't take care of him. Archie's parents are busy dealing and smoking crack. His dad would coach him to lie whenever CPS showed up so that he would never lose custody, but he also did not care to
See
take...
all these dysfunctional families, dysfunctional parents, like, bro, what the heck? Yo, that's why, like, knowing the backstory is good. Knowing someone's parents is better. Like, if y'all haven't got married yet, are in a relationship or thinking about a relationship, look at the mannerisms of their parents and then look at how they treat their parents as well. That should give you a plain sign as far as, like, do I really want to, have the rest of my life with this person, spend the rest of my life with this person? If they ain't doing the proper measures to do better than their parents, then hey, cut it off.
Take care of his child. It was up to Archie to just stay alive and stay fed. As a kid, Archie remembers waking up with these raging, intense headaches. He would accidentally inhale crack overnight at the motel that his parents would make him sleep at. I mean, he basically grew up without parents.
Secondhand, I've definitely heard of secondhand crack smoke, but in a rap song though. But secondhand crack smoke is crazy. Oh my gosh, man. Dog, save the children. That's what I'm going to keep saying. Save the children. These whack parents, bro.
The only person in his life was his best friend, Laotian American named Jonathan Yoshi Sarath. Yoshi. And they were more like brothers than anything. They were the only ones that could trust each other. Archie walks into the halfway house one day. Whoa.
You do know the backstory of why kids look older is because of how much stress they go through. Like, it's also genetics as far as like how you look. But a lot of kids look older than me, and they'd be like, "I'm 13." I'd be like, "Excuse you." Maybe flip that number around. That's my age, yo. Like, that's crazy.
Whose blue Mustang is that outside? Oh, you haven't met Gina yet, have you? Gina, come. So Gina, this is Archie. Archie, this is Gina. Archie's staring at this pretty Korean American woman. She's 23, he's 16. I mean, there's this aura about her. She seems so mature, so put together, like she knows what she's doing in her life. But also, there's a dangerous edge. I mean, she seems so free. He says he wasn't interested in her romantically or anything because she, quote, talked with a Valley Girl accent and seemed a little crazy. But it was fun to be around crazy, right? There was this air of mystery around her, just the way she talked. What happened to your foot? Archie looks down. There's this wound. Oh, I accidentally shot myself. And Gina's eyes light up. Speaking of, do you know where I could find guns for sale for self-defense? Off the market, of course, because you'd be surprised. There's a lot of Asian gangs out there, and I just want to protect myself. Archie goes to his cousin and asks if she can help. I mean, the cousin understands the situation. She's a woman. She sells him a pocket pistol, a tiny one, like the size of your palm. It's honestly pretty goofy looking. It's a 2-shot Derringer, and Gina paid $60 for it. Soon after, Archie and Yoshi are running late for school, and they ask Gina, hey, can you give us a ride? In the car on the way to school in San Diego, she suggests, why don't we skip town? I mean, what's the point anyway? Let's go to Irvine, skip school, it'll be fun. I need to run some errands anyway, pick up something from my sister's place.
Wait, now that we know the age of everybody, obviously the sisters are 21, 15 and 16-year-old. I don't remember which one who was with what at the rent-a-car situation, but that's weird. You got a little kid with you, and y'all trying to hit Korea. Like, bro, what?
Archie would later say, I didn't really care about missing school. I had no...
Look, I don't know how long this trial is going on for, but Archie looking like Mr. Archie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't look 16. If this is 16 when he was 16, that's crazy. Because I don't even look that old. He look older than me. You know what I'm saying?
Parents to answer to, and I've only left San Diego one time in my life. So to go to Irvine, Orange County, which is maybe like an hour drive, it seemed like a really fun deal. Gina offers to pay them $100 if they can help her get her stuff from her sister's place. They did not know that they were on their way to murder someone who looks exactly like Gina. They get to Irvine, they stop at a Ralph's grocery store, they buy duct tape, large garbage bags, twine, cleaning supplies, gloves, and a single potato. The potato is a very bizarre case. A singular russet potato. They take that potato into a wildlife sanctuary where there's nobody around, like a big park. She tells the boys, this is perfect. We can do some...
If you ever listen to rap music and they say I put a potato on the barrel or whatever, it's to silence the... It's like a silencer for the gun. So... It won't go bang. It go pew. Not like a pew like that, but it'd be a loud pew, but it's not like a bang. So, but it's not a multiple use kind of thing. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Target practice here without anyone seeing us. Well, what if they hear us? Well, that's why we have the potato. It's a silence.
Dog. I know what I'm talking about. I don't just be yapping for no reason. I've lived many moons. I have a lot of life experience. Lots.
Sir. They MacGyver the potato onto the barrel of the gun as a makeshift silencer.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Of course it does.
Wow.
Yeah. Archie would later say, name one teenage boy who wouldn't use that opportunity to fire a gun. There was no deep-seated conspiracy for me to kill anyone. I was just a kid being a kid, taking advantage of the moment. After practicing on the potato, Gina drives them to a separate store to purchase magazines. They were going to use this as a ruse to get Sunny to open the door. Gina's telling them, look, Sunny wants to kill me. I just need my stuff. Sunny's not going to open the door to me. So you guys have to go and get her to open the door. But she's not going to open the door to two random kids that she doesn't know. So act like you're selling magazines. When they get in front of the apartment complex, they're sitting in the car and Gina turns to them. It's better if you guys take the gun. Archie...
Yeah, suppressor.
He's confused. Why would we need to take the gun? It's better that way. Besides, you never know. There could be Asian gang members on the inside waiting for us to get in there. Have you ever hurt someone before? What? I'm just asking because there's a lot of Asian gangs in the area, which is why
Yeah, because there's technically no such thing as a silenced weapon. Like, it's not gonna not make noise, so it suppresses the noise from a bang.
Needed you two as backup to begin with. The two boys are confused, but Gina keeps going. What if you guys just kill my sister instead? Have you ever killed anyone before? What? No. I thought we're just picking up stuff from your sister's house. What is going on? It's just, if I don't kill my sister, then my sister's gonna kill me first. Will you kill my sister for me? No. No. Archie said he was terrified at this point. He has no idea what Gina is capable of. She's asking him to kill her twin sister for her.
I hope those guys don't get it bad, you know what I mean? Because in a way, they're kids. Well, not in a way. They are kids, and they could have, it sounds like manipulation and persuasion and all the Asians within the Asians. As far as the two guys getting in the mix of this, they still did what they did, but they're kids, and we got like a literal criminal pressing them about this situation, which is crazy.
He doesn't know if she's going to kill him for saying no, since even just by asking him, she's committed a crime. Gina rolls her eyes at Archie, slowly turns to Yoshi in the back seat. And what about you? Would you kill my sister for me? Yoshi's quiet, and he shakes his head no. And for a second, the entire car is silent until Gina starts...
Oh, no, you're straight. Suppressor is the right terminology. just like a magazine. But there are weapons that you use that are called clips, and those are like more of the rifles or the old style guns that they have that actually have like a clip that you put in. But hey, no flack to you. I was reminded though. Appreciate it.
Slamming her hand on the steering wheel over and over and over again. And Archie said in that moment, he's thinking, whoa, this bitch is crazy. Archie and Yoshi both look at each other, and the implication is very much understood. If she's willing to kill her twin sister and she's going this crazy on us, what's stopping her from killing us? Archie decides to take charge. He opens the glove box, takes the gun out so that Gina can't have access to it. But when Gina sees this, she starts maniacally clapping and cheering and whooping in the car. I mean, she's gone off the deep end completely. Okay, remember the plan. Pretend you're selling magazines.
Yeah, and that's why I think that her like gaslighting her sister was a part of the contingency plan. I don't think it was planned, but remedial actions as far as everything going to the shitter ultimately. Trying to be like, oh, I never did this. But she planned the whole thing, and she's been thinking about it, and she over here clapping and whooping. Woo! About to kill myself. What the heck? What kind of oh my gosh. Put her in a straitjacket in a spongy room, yo.
Go to the door, see if Sunny's home. She looks like me. And if she's home alone, then if she is, you push open the door, storm the place, put the gun up to her head, threaten her, tie her with a rope. Here, take this. Place the duct tape over her mouth so that she can't scream for help. The two guys go and knock on the door. It opens and they freeze. They can't do it. They can't force their way in. They're way too nervous for this. They run back to Gina's car. I'm sorry. I think she's home alone. I don't know. Are you sure it's her? Does she look like me? I'm not sure. Side note, it wasn't Sunny at the door. They said that they didn't want the magazines and they just slammed the door shut on us. We'll go back and try again. They go back and nobody responds. Gina takes them out to eat burgers, and the whole time she's slowly convincing them that this is the right thing to do. And Archie and Yoshi decide to just go along with it, but not kill anyone. They're not killing people. They're just gonna go along, break in, get the stuff, bring the stuff out to Gina, or have Gina pick out the stuff. It's not like Gina can do anything. Archie's the one with the gun now. Archie said, everything I did that day was what I learned from the TV and movies. When he heard the police pounding on the door, he starts untying the girls, telling them it's all a joke. Just tell the police it's a joke. Please just tell them it's a joke. The girls would later say that the boys, Archie in particular, the one with the gun, was shaking the whole time. He was a mess. He had the gun.
I'm glad that they actually, said that and wasn't like, oh, they were trying to kill us and it was blah, blah, blah. I hope that, yeah, I feel bad for them too. Man. Because even the two boys' upbringing isn't great either. Like, everybody is in a crappy situation. Everybody has terrible parents. Everybody is, like, not having the time of their life. It is not fire for anybody. Like, this is so very not gangster.
Gun in his hand, and he did traumatize the girls, don't get me wrong. So we're not excusing that. But he looked so scared the whole time. He looked potentially more scared than them. Archie would even decline to take a plea deal in court later based on the fact that he did not believe that he was trying to kill Sunny. But if you take a deal, you have to admit that you did those things, and he did not want to admit. I think it's really unfortunate. I'm not trying to say that the boys are completely innocent, but they're boys, they're minors. I'm not saying that they didn't do anything wrong, but I would hardly call them conspirators for murder.
Yeah.
I mean, there are also speculations that...
The only play devil's advocate, they have a lethal weapon. And they tied them up. I mean, what else would be next other than just, stealing their stuff? It's literal murder. They still did what they did. You have to, adhere to your actions, but it was with like manipulation of an adult. These are kids, so I hope that was put into like consideration, and as well as the victims, because they were victims. I feel like even the two girls were victims as well as the the two boys were victims. And everybody's a victim of their parents in this situation. Crazy enough, right? Even if they weren't related, because there's the other girl, remember? Her roommate. Now she's a victim of the side effects from the abandonment of their parents and all the other. Oh my gosh, man. You see that trickle effect, man? That's crazy.
Gina was grooming Yoshi because they were awfully close on that couch. I don't know. Everyone who knew Archie said his family was a mess, but he was a pretty gentle boy. Archie and Yoshi just ended up wrapped up in Gina's little games because they wanted to skip school. That's it. The argument during the trial was, did Gina conspire to kill her twin sister or not? The prosecutors were arguing with what they bought at Ralph's, with what Gina was telling her roommates, skipping work furlough, trying to go to Mexico. It's all very clear she was trying to steal Sonny's identity. Even when she's arrested.
Craziness? What the heck? Yo, hopefully y'all don't be playing these crazy app games. They be looking weird.
So that's what the prosecutors are arguing. Gina's defense is arguing, no, it's just sibling rivalry gone wrong and she was just trying to get her stuff and things got weird. Gina did have a court-appointed psychologist and she was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder with antisocial traits, which is not inherently a bad thing, but they said that Gina continues to manipulate people around her. Even their mother, Mrs. Han, would tell the press that her daughters were being categorized right now as one good, one evil, but she says that she supports Gina and she thinks that Sonny is being dramatic and both of her daughters are good. Yeah. Which is fascinating because Gina uses her shitty relationship with her mom as part of her defense. She tells her psychologist that her mom was neglectful and abuseful and she was always scared of her. She said that is the reason for all of her mental trauma. But maybe it's a wake-up call for Mrs. Han. She wrote to the judge, had I been able to raise my girls in a more stable family environment, things would have not gotten this out of control.
Did they have no time at all in jail or a little time?
I wanted to get out from there early.
What do you consider a fair sentence? 5 years, 10 years?
I can guess now. I can tell you. What can I say?
Gina would be found guilty and sentenced to 26 years in prison.
It is obvious that
I wonder what her other sentencings were, because remember, she escaped because she had that furlough where she could go to work and whatever, and then she decided to do this bullcrap. Wow, she really took on the Mexican look. I mean, that's what Cali will do to you. But I don't think that's like, I don't know. It's because everything's premeditated, and I would have figured it would have been more for a premeditated murder, because that's technically what she wanted, was the murder. So 21 seems a little, it's mid to me.
Miss Han is a danger to society, particularly to her own family. She has repeatedly committed crimes against her family.
Yeah, and she's a repeat offender of crimes. So 21 is light, to be honest. Like it's very mid.
Sentence is as follows. The total is an indeterminate sentence of 26 years to life in state prison.
Okay, 26. I would have said like 30, 31.
Archie would be sentenced to 14 years in prison.
That's tough. Damn. Gosh, dang, bro. Just threw your whole life away, man. I mean, it's not like it's over, but you coming out at 30, bro. I don't even know when this trial was. That's crazy. Like, he was only like, what, 15 or 16? He's literally in jail as long as he was alive. Bro.
Prison. As a minor, he will be paroled in 10. Yoshi got 8 years, but ended up serving 4. I guess.
What? How does that work?
Because he never held the gun and pointed it at the girl.
But that's tough. Damn. So he got 8, but he got out in 4. So he's like 20. I'm not sure when this was though. So if this was a little bit ago, he's already out. Maybe on good behavior, the other dude could get out in 12, 10, 11.
Girls.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people feel so bad for the boys because they were failed by their parents, they're failed by CPS, and now they're failed by the justice system once more. The last thing Yoshi told his attorney at the sentencing while he was sobbing was, "Please call my mom." After Gina's sentencing, Sunny visited her in prison, and she came out of there crying and telling a reporter, "My sister hasn't been plotting this. I'm 1,000% sure. There's no way she could have done this. I thought it was totally absurd, but I was beginning to believe the police, and I thought maybe it's possible. I was just confused. My sister had fallen into some sort of scam by these 2 teenage boys. I know she did not try to kill me."
She turned on the boys. I mean, in hindsight, she wants to take her sister's side to believe that she wouldn't do that, but I hope that she finds out that her sister did really plot that.
Because I envied my sister. My sister is a lot smarter than me. She's highly intelligent. She did not envy me.
You don't think she had anything to do with this? Is that your position now?
Right. Gina, over the years, though, has admitted to the crimes. She said, "At one point, I absolutely wanted to kill my sister. I hated her. The more I thought about my sister turning into a replica of my mom, I felt badly betrayed. With my growing rage, I wanted my sister dead." In prison, Gina earned her associate's degree in social and behavioral studies. She said, "I'm just interested in anything that has to do with behavioral and social pattern because I recognize my old behaviors and how it ties to my personality." Side note, a lot of people wonder how Gina was able to convince the 2 teenage boys to do this for her. Now, while in prison, interesting detail, Gina had a lot of men writing to her from all over the world, pen pals, and she convinced one of them to send her $100,000, and he did.
Whoa.
He's not even...
Hold up. I guarantee you don't have $100,000 worth of debt. Could easily pay it on that, paid it off, whatever the case. You could have been on your merry way and been to South Korea without all the shenanigans. Whatever. Dog, what? Convinced a dude to give you $100,000? Ma'am, you are living life backwards. Living like Larry.
Even from America, he's from Australia. The psychologist on the parole board said the fact remains that Gina is still flexing the manipulation muscles that she used to recruit 2 young men to murder her sister, boys, honestly. And for that reason, and the fact that the inmate has never participated in mental health treatment, it is my belief that Gina continues to pose an unreasonable risk of danger to society. She was released on parole in 20 years. She's out and free. It said that Gina is still...
So this was a long time ago. So everybody should be out. Everybody should be out now.
Still in contact with her mom. She's very close with her. She's working on getting her engineering degree and is creating a very stable career for herself. They're thriving, it seems. The mother, Mrs. Han, no longer talks to her former favorite twin. It seems that the tides have shifted like vampires. Only one can be the favorite. And Gina is the favorite now.
Wait, so mother doesn't talk to Sunny?
No. When she was asked, "Where do you think Sunny is now?" she said, "I think she's dead."
Oh.
Sunny is not dead, but she has been arrested for sex work.
Oh, man.
Leading people to believe that the twins truly are like vampires. Only one can succeed at one time. What are your thoughts? Do you think that there's a lot of like twin psychology that goes into this crime? Even just the fact that one has to succeed. I don't know if that's something that they believe and it ends up happening in life because they so strongly believe it.
Yeah, I think I feel like their upbringing basically determined how they are now. Like probably the lack of love, even probably competition since they're 5. Like they're
Yes.
constantly being compared to each other. Who's better?
So a lot of people speculate that a lot of twins, they say it is normal to have competition because it's like your siblings. People always compare siblings, parents. You shouldn't, but they say, why can't you be like this, like your sister? But with twins, it's worse because you guys are the same age, going through the same life experiences at the same exact time. However, people think that because they were left apart for the first few years of their life, they never bonded in the way that regular twins will bond. So while they still have that competitive edge, they still have this even stronger emotional love.
See, I told you. They didn't bond. Having a connection and a bond are two different things. A bond is going through challenges and adversities together. So then when challenge and adversity comes about, because you've already been through leaps and bounds, it solidifies your resume together as to why you guys should stay together. And they didn't develop that. Yeah, they had a connection because they're siblings and whatever, but having a bond, completely different. That's why it's good if you want to really. Why do you think when you make weapons, you test it in fire to see if it cracks or breaks or whatever? That's where the fire is what makes the metal strong. When you keep beating it through the fire, through extreme heat, that's the only way you could really develop a strong bond to where it's just like, this is my ride or die, no matter what, don't care what you're talking about. They didn't do that. I don't think they knew how to do that. I don't think they understood that. That's why I feel like it wasn't pursued, developed in a focused way, but more in a one-up, I'm better than you more situation, and not a healthy, constructive competition amongst each other. But dang, it's crazy that the other sister just got caught up in sex work, man. What? That's my little one decided to watch Bluey. Oh wait, no, that's one family trait is definitely denial and passive aggressive. Oh my gosh, I was right. There can only be one. I was only joking. Surprise, surprise.
For each other, which maybe the Han twins didn't have.
Right.
So they had this instinctual, that's my twin and I love her, but it wasn't solidified at an early stage.
Yeah.
And the competition kicked in first.
That makes sense.
It's very interesting though.
Yeah.
But I also wonder, this is another thing that I wondered, please leave it in the comments. If you're a twin and you were to murder your other twin, is it almost watching yourself die because they look so similar to you? I just feel like that is so eerie. What was Gina trying to do when she goes in? I mean, what does that look like? I don't know. What are your thoughts? Let me know.
I don't think it would be better. I would think even if she got away with it, I think it would have been worse. Even if she, killed her sister. Yeah, because I've heard multiple stories of like people regretting or people not feeling that sense that they were the feeling that they were chasing, they didn't get after. This is not all instances, but this is like majority, that they didn't get that feeling of satisfaction after they, killed the person. I think it would have been worse because in a sense she's killing her other half in a way. Even with people that survive suicides, there's stories about that to where there's I'm talking about immediate sense of what is it called? Immediate regret. Like if it was jumping off something or whatever to kill themselves, like immediate sense of regret and like, I don't want to do this right when they do it. Crazy. Hey, let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments. We had a wild conversation about really everything. Hey, these are dope. We're gonna have more live streams, more fun, more a bit of everything. Later on in the year, we're gonna get into like gaming and more stuff. It's just gonna be a lot. I'm excited. Much appreciated for everybody that stopped by. Thank you very much. Hearts in the chat. If you guys do have any requests as far as what you guys want me to check out, if there's anything, I'll be open to it. But without further ado, I appreciate you. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you have not already. Definitely share this with somebody that you think that would enjoy this type of content and doesn't necessarily want to watch things like this alone. It definitely helps to build conversation, and I think it makes content creating a lot better when it's live streamed, when you have live interactions with people. But I thank you everybody for stopping by. Appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful day. See you guys soon. Peace.